Okay, so this tutorial is to go over the Excel formulas in the Belize Grading. So just like all the other ones, we need to go to my computer and the C drive and current school year. That's where you should always have your the current year that you're working on. We can pick any one of these subject files, and you can get this pop up for update. It means pages that it is linked to may have had some changes, so you're going to want to accept the updates. One of the first things I want to show you is the student names. How do they get in here from there? So right here you see Falk, but up here is the formula. So we're telling it that this cell equals, and you got to go to the C drive, to the current school year folder, to the class roster file, and then we're going to go to the class roster sheet, and then cell B2. So that is how that's getting here. And as you go down, it's all the same except for the cell reference. So it's going to match up with the class roster. So that is how the names carry over. The same with the instructor and the school year. All of that's coming from the class roster. And this is where it's one of the important things to make sure that it is on the C drive in a current school year folder and no other path. No current school year folder twice, no other drive. Otherwise, all of these links will not work. If we go to the final grades, that's where we have some more formulas. One of the first ones is the points that the student has earned. And this looks like a fairly long, complicated formula, but it's what's just called an if formula. An if formula will have three parts. First part is just a logical test that would be yes or no. It's called a Boolean question. It's just right or wrong, yes or no, on or off, however you want to look at it. And then the next two parts, if the question is true, what do you want it to do? If the question is false, what do you want it to do? And those sections are divided by the comma. So the first one is the logical test. If, and the cell is F3, dollar signs, just make it something called absolute. If it is equal to yes. So let's find F3. Here we go. Here's F, and here's 3. That's yes. That is our yes-no question for whether or not there's an exam for that semester. If it is yes, we want to sum first semester sheet C6 through T6. So that would be first semester C6, so that would be the data for max C through T. So that would be all the homework, quizzes, tests, and projects for that particular student. And then we're going to do asterisk, which means times G2, which is on this sheet, which is G2, which is the weight. 70% of the weight is all the homework, quizzes, and tests. And then we're going to go back to first semester, and we're going to go to U6, which is U6. So that's his final exam. And then we're going to multiply the final exam by whatever's in M2. So we go to M2, and that's 30%. So that's how you get your weighted total here. If F3 was no, then this logical test would be false. If it is false, what do? We're just going to sum in the first semester C6 through T6, which then would be homework, quizzes, tests, and projects. And then there's no weight to it because there is no exam. So, and then it would be the same for the total points possible. And that's going to go back here, and then it's going to do all of these quizzes, tests, homework, projects, and multiply by the weight. And then add this multiplied by the weight. And then after that, all you got to do is take the points earned divided by the points possible times 100 to get the percent. And then the letter grade is what's called a nested if statement. So it's just going to be a couple layers of the if statement. So a logical test, what do you want to do if it's true? What do you want to do if it's false? So we start out if, and then the test is referring back to the percentage. So that's E5. If E5 is greater than or equal to 90, what do you want? I want an A there. If it is not greater than or equal to 90, what do you want to do? We have to start with another if. And we're going to do a logical test. Now we want to know if it is greater than or equal to 80. If it is, then it's going to be a B. If it isn't, what do we want to know? We want to know if it is greater than 70. If it is, put a C. And if it isn't, a D. So a D grade is the default grade, anything that doesn't fall into any of these. So D would be the false statement. And that's how the letter grades get in there. And that is pretty much most of the formulas and cell references in here. The other function would be the programming macro, which I'll go through in a separate tutorial. Thank you.